Yes, me again, Andy Livingston. Another reasoning, see? Uh, again, is one of them that I don't want to play the music because I find this topic is very serious and I want to just come directly to you guys. You know, raining outside, rainy day in Kingston, Jamaica. I suspect it's kind of maybe island wide, and so we just hope nobody's being flooded. Yes, and we give thanks for the rain because when we not get no rain, we all say we not get no rain, and we see drought and the water supply gets affected sometimes. So we give thanks for the rain, but we pray that nobody is being flooded out. Yeah, so how do I start? Recently, I think it might have been the last video I did, um, made some comment on Diana King and what she has done to quote unquote transform herself. I expressed disappointment and so I've been called by some friends to say I may have been insensitive, you know. Well, if you know Diana journey, you know, it kind of insensitive. Let me just say it was never an intention to be insensitive. You know, it was more disappointment than anything else. But we know everybody have them journey, and one sometimes take a path that others may not understand. See? So I just want to say that. But I want to now use the opportunity to talk about something that is really concerning to me. You know, we see these things creeping up in the human space, and we really wonder what is causing these things because and what am I talking about? Gender dysphoria, yes, where somebody, you know, starts to get it in mind that they're actually trapped in the wrong body. You know, a woman may feel like she's a man may feel like he's a woman, and so on and so forth. Yes, gone to, well, some studies now say, some people are saying them are no man nor woman. You know, so this total gender misunderstanding has kind of, you know, set a kind of a confusion in the place. So we want to look at gender dysphoria. I am on this website called Mayo Clinic, and they're describing gender dysphoria as the feeling of discomfort or distress that might occur in people whose gender identity differs from their sex assigned at birth or sex-related physical characteristics. Transgender and gender diverse people may experience gender dysphoria at some point in their lives. However, some transgender and gender diverse people feel at ease with their bodies, with or without medical intervention. A diagnosis of gender dysphoria is included in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. What is that saying? That is saying something along the lines of my belief, where I believe that these kinds of disorders are actually mental disorders. Yes? And I think that they should be treated as such. You know? We've had, from time immemorial, the gay man, the lesbian woman, and we have come to accept that that is common among us. You know, it is something that people will live their lives how they feel about themselves, and they have a right so to do. But it's kind of getting, more and more into what we consider to be the ridiculous, for risk of sounding insensitive again. But I had a look at what the causes of gender dysphoria would be, and my thinking was that trauma would be a contributing factor. But as it turns out, I'm not seeing that anywhere. But I'm still thinking that trauma can contribute. And I'm saying this with the background that one of the people who called me about Diana King related to me some things that Diana might have gone through when she was in her early adolescent years. And yes, things that would traumatize a young lady. I have an issue though with the fact that, okay, so if you are traumatized and you find that your coping mechanism when triggered leads you down a particular road, then what you should now become an advocate for is traumatized people. Yes? And before I even go into too much into that argument, I want to just describe how the environment is in a Jamaica. Yeah, you see, Jamaica, whether we like it or not, always had a subculture, or maybe not a subculture, but a kind of ugly underbelly to the culture, where abuse takes place, sexual abuse of the young girls, and I dare say even the boys. A lot of the boys have been abused. And sometimes it starts, I don't want to tell you, most of the time, it starts in the home. It's not something that we like to talk about, because even the victims themselves, when for argument's sake a father or a stepfather abuse a little girl sexually and she would have complained, the other parent would not want to believe. So you find that this will continue over years, and out of fear, the picnic kind of dead and take it. So you have it in the home, you have it extended now a lot of the time to the churches and the community. And because the people doing the abusing sometimes have power, whether it is, well, mostly money power and clout. The kids are scared and the people don't want to believe because and the truth is that a lot of people are looking for feather them own nest. So uncle, daddy, pastor will provide some kind of financial sustenance to the family oftentimes. I dish out the abuse and nobody wants to hear it from the child. So we subject the people them to a lot of them things there. And these abusers have this sense of entitlement because they know that there's something in the power of money. And so a lot of the times is people will have a little power over other people. We dish out the abuse. I mean, we see it, we hear of what happens on the international scene. World leaders becoming abusers, being involved with child sex rings and all of them something. Sometimes you wonder if some of them things are extend to Jamaica as well. Whether our leaders have been caught up in anything like that. But locally, in our communities, these things are happening and we can't deny it. The Dana send for your little girl, 10, 11-year-old, when she start bust little breast. These things continue and will continue, but we have to talk about it. Oftentimes though, how does one get to that state where you abuse a young child sexually? Oftentimes it is a case of the victim becoming the victimizer, because it is a long chain of this kind of action. I for one know of a reggae artist that was abused and turned out to become an abuser of young boys. Again, it's something that nobody no want to talk about in the space. Every now and then you hear it. But it is what it is. He was abused, I'm understanding. But we know that he became a predator for young boys. Oftentimes this abuse would lead to some mental conditions, would create a mental situation in some of the people them head, and it would have remained undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. But you have to have a mental problem for get to the stage where you abuse a young child. This thing of not wanting to believe that your child is so, No, so my picnic never do that. My son would never do that. And these things start at a very early age. You know what I mean? So a lot of molestation has been taking place. Now we have to ask ourselves, because we see recently a lot of lesbianism has become prevalent in the space. And open lesbianism. We tend to be more tolerant of lesbians, in the Jamaican culture. So nowadays it's kind of hardly ever hidden. The gay man them, it's kind of more, more shunned, and so that will stay closeted for a while until it come out. But me don't know. Me think some of this abuse where some people, the trauma where them go through would have caused some people to become like this. And we say we don't know what would have caused this manifestation in a Diana King, but I would have advised that these people look at becoming champions for the abused, so even if the abuse has made you that way, don't turn around and abuse other people. Don't turn around and try to turn other people. Think what you should have do is okay, accept what it has made you, but then try to protect people from going down that road. It may be hard because what I notice people are trying to do is sell this as normal. And so if you think that what you're doing is normal, then it's hard for me to tell you, say, boy, warn people against going down this road. But the madman on the road no think say mad. You ever pre that? The man at the roadside sit down as a madman. If you ask him, he will tell you he's not mad. So where we get off with something like this. We know him mad, so we can't now accept it as normal. But that is what I see a lot of us trying to do, this woke kind of culture. Everybody all of a sudden, we're very understanding and we know what they're going through and ray and thing. But we understand and know them are go through. We know them are go through a mental situation. It is what it is. This world has become somewhere where truth is no fiction. And you must not say the things this way, or you must not say the thing that way, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and them things. Well, if the truth are going to hurt people's feelings, it have to hurt as long as it helps them to take a look at self. You know what I mean? And so, again, I said this is my problem with that Diana King, because Diana has been out there as a voice for the LGBTQ community. And if it is abuse that led her to become that, then it is unfair to other young girls for her to now be leading them down that path. Because there's really nothing normal. Again, me I go say, if a youth born with 1 foot, we give him a prosthetic leg. If it was normal, we make him hop around with the 1 foot, don't it? Yeah. A youth born with certain defects, cerebral palsy, let us say. But them not just walk around and go school as normal. Why is it that we're sending them, if they're able, to special facilities? Because we recognize it is not normal. So let us stop lying to ourselves. Let us start to accept reality. Because there can be no new reality. Is one reality. Is one truth. You know what I mean? So, it is two sides to the coin. And I would urge us in the Jamaican culture for really start to look at how we treat with people. In the first instance, look at how we treat with kids and recognize who are those abusers, call them out for it, and where necessary, charge them feet and get them out of the society. And if we can help them, we help them. You know what I mean? And then we need a kind of gentler society. Young men, we don't have this thing, we don't have this entitlement to these young girls somehow, you know. And we really don't know how to even deal with a young girl. So everything is aggression and, you know, really need to take another look. You know, I think we not watch too much porn. I don't mind not developed enough to control yourself when you consume it. So, you know, look into yourself, because when you get so sexually depraved, then it will lead to other things. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, these are my 2 cents on this situation. It's not something that is going anywhere. But if I can use my platform to open one eye, then the work is done. And we ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And continue to send the responses in the comment. And let us build this community, you know, where we can reason one to one and see how we can positively affect a society. Jamaica bless up world. And the Livingston out.